Well, no, you're not broken. I was muted. You know, I think it's just typical. You have to expect hiccups and tech issues when I'm streaming and casting. We're going over those map picks here. I'll just give you a rundown once more now that I'm unmuted. But Souls and Slowmo have banned out Brax's Holdout and Battlefield of Eternity tonight. Alterac Pass and Towers of Doom banned out by car crash sounds. The coin toss was won by Souls and Slowmo, and they've opted for first pick, giving map pick over to the side of car crash sounds. We're going to be going to Dragonshire to kick things off tonight. And I think we're good to go here. The readies are out from the lobby. And we can get into this game. Oh, Souls and Slowmo shortened to CIS. CCS and CIS. Uh-oh. Alright. We had someone just quickly disconnect from the lobby as we were about to jump into draft, but they're back now. So we can get into this. I'm excited because what I was talking about before I realized I was muted is that both of these teams tonight are led by women. And for International Women's Day, what better game to cast than a game that has women as the captains and making up some of the teams here. There's quite a few familiar faces in this lobby here. If you're a fan of other things that I cast on the weekends, you might recognize them. So to kick things off, Souls and Slowmo have that first ban, first pick in this lobby here. Dax, your emote's so cute. Alright, we're gonna see the Joanna band coming out to start off this draft from Souls and Slowmo. Let's see what Car Crash Sounds is gonna follow up that. Born to Shine, pretty stellar healer over on the side of Souls and Slowmo. I know she has quite the pool, but in particularly likes her Brightwing play, so that might be something we see target banned here potentially. It's gonna be the Zeratul band though coming out. We've got more than 3 because we have Born to Shine, we have Silverbell, and Orisa, and Fusion, and I believe Hot Like Summer might also be around, but maybe hasn't played yet. Alright, they're going to follow that up with the Artanis ban here. That potentially might be a ban on Diffusion. I believe that she started playing Artanis or has always played Artanis here. So, potential target ban there. Is this in your Conan whatever game you're playing? Alright, the last band coming out here in the first half of the band phase is going to be the Chromie from the side of Car Crash Sounds. And now we're going to see the first pick in just a few seconds from Souls and Slowmo. Let's see what they prioritize here. It's going to be that Brightwing. Already mentioned, Born to Shine, pretty mean Brightwing here. It was maybe thinking it was going to be target banned. But with that still up and available, we're going to see a first pick Brightwing for the side of Souls and Slowmo. And one of the nice things to watch on the map, this map in particular, is that solo lane matchup. So you do actually have to win the lane. You can't just catch your soak and you know, hang back and chill. You got to win and get that top point secured so the dragon can be channeled. So Rexar, pretty popular pick in those kind of situations. You can send your bear to sit on the point to cap it, let Rexar soak the lane, and you have the offlaner trying to choose between also soaking the lane or contesting that top point here. So we are going to see Fujin pick up Rexar, and we're also having Anarissa picking up the Cassia here.
Hell, it's about damn time.
Over on the side of Souls and Slowmo, Jaina getting locked in as well as Tychus. So they have their DPS and healer online. They're looking to still pick up that tank and off lane. So this might be the roles we're going to see targeted here by Car Crash Sounds. Getting rid of one of those off laners that might counter Rexar or a tank they don't want to deal with. And they're going to go ahead and ban the Diablo. I think that's a pretty good pick for a ban here. They still need a tank over the side of Souls and Slowmo. Some of the things that really help deal with the Diablo are already picked up by Souls and Slowmo. They have the Brightwing, they have the Tychus. Those are two pretty popular counters to the Diablo because when he Qs in, he is either getting polymorphed or just shredded by a Tychus. So definitely something that we could have seen Souls and Slowmo go for here. They're going to counter with the Ana ban though. I'm not sure if this is just a target ban onto Car Crash Sounds here. So there's not anyone that immediately sticks out to me as somebody you want a nano boost for a combo. They haven't really locked in a mage yet.
Our world is worth fighting for.
There's the Tassadar and Mei now coming in. So still need a healer over on the side of Car Crash Sounds. And with the Mei, I'm thinking two healers that would pair really well here. Deckard or potentially a Malfurion. He's been getting a lot of popularity off that last patch. And the reason is because Mei's Blizzard just pairs so well with a Malfurion Root Sleep or the Deckard slows and stuns as well on top of that. Either healer here for them could be fantastic to round out their roster. You add in Tassadar just throwing his blow up damage on top of it and Cassia going in with her Fens and Surge of Lights. It's almost a for sure pick off on the enemy team with that. And we are going to see the Deckard getting locked here. So I'm excited to see Car Crash Sounds run this comp. The Mei Deckard works so well together. They just have such great synergy. Oh. Souls and Slowmo running the Uther main tank here. Leorc's going to be in that off lane. I've seen Silverbell play Leorc a few times now. So I'm not super surprised on that pickup, but I'm interested to see how they make this Uther main tank work for their team here. I think they definitely just have the blow up between Tychus and Jaina to kind of capitalize on an Uther stun, Brightwing follow up with the polymorph, and just the blow up damage from Tychus and Uther, or Tychus and Jaina to secure the kill there. But it'll be interesting. I do think just in terms of, you know, point control on the shrine and everything, Mei and Deckard are going to be so valuable though to the side of Car Crash Sounds. That's dirty banning Diablo from Ollie. Oh, is he Diablo main? Maybe it was too broadcasted with what they were picking up in their draft that that's what they were going for. All right. Let's get into this here. Over on the left-hand side, we have Souls in Slowmo with Sub-Zero playing Tychus, the captain on Jaina, Silverbell playing Leorc, Born to Shine on Brightwing, and O-Line Bus on the Uther. Meanwhile, over on the right-hand side, it's Car Crash Sounds. Fujin playing Rexar, Taijin on the Tassadar, Messo's Tables playing the Mei, Anarissa on the Cassia, and Hot Like Summer playing Deckard Cain. These teams had agreed that they were just going to pick, like, women-themed sprays to begin the game out. Any kind of, like, thing that they felt themselves were empowering to women for International Women's Day. So that's why they're all spraying to start out this match. Looking at those level 1 pickups here, we do have a few questing talents coming out. Uther has opted to go with the Silver Touch here, so looking for those 80 stacks on that. And of course, Jaina, not too surprising there, taking the globe quest, so she's going to be rotating, trying to pick up globes where she can likely. Meanwhile, over on the side of Car Crash Sounds, Thunderstroke getting picked up for the Cassia here, so she's looking to stack her Q, and Tassadar as well going with the static charge, so he as well is looking to stack his Q ability.
You think yourself worthy to wield the Dragon Knight's power? Prove it.
We are going to see car crash sounds starting up their siege camp now. Not too unusual here, right at the 1 minute mark, for teams to try to get those camps out and then go straight down to the objective to try and cap the bottom shrine. Have a little extra pressure in the lane to allow them to step forward, create a bit of a window there for them to secure bottom point here. We do see CCS picking up their camp a little bit earlier than we're going to see Souls and Slowmo get out theirs. And even Messos is maybe looking to walk over and check it out. Born to Shine, she's been making sure to catch that soak in the mid the entire game. It's not a bad call. She does have that phase shift up. Jaina needs to be a little bit careful here. Here's the icing out onto her. The wall from Tassadar going to block her off. The phase shift tries to come in from Brightwing, but not quite able to connect on time. And we're going to see First Blood going over to the side of Car Crash Sounds. Channel is up and available here for the side of Souls and Slowmo, though, for the time being. We're going to see Rexar cap top. Silverbell walking onto the point, dropping her Drain Hope onto Misha, forcing her back off the point. So for now, Leoric able to hold this point, but still needs to be careful about not missing soak in that lane. Both the camps in this bottom lane starting to crash here. We are going to see Souls and Slowmo's Giants fall first. CCS's Giants still needing to be cleared up. Big damage being pumped out by that Tassadar there, getting some nice damage onto the Uther, but we're going to see the phase shift coming in from Brightwing. And the grenade onto the Tassadar. He's going to have to back off, hit that fountain, but now May is around to tank for her team. Anarissa is going to have to Hearth, a little bit too low on health to stay around and fight this. So this is going to be a 3v4 for the moment in this bottom lane, but I'm expecting somebody from over on the side of Souls and Slowmo to rotate to catch that soak in mid. You know, one way that Souls and Slowmo could be playing this right now is Leoric quite capable at double soaking. So if you just had Leoric catch that mid soak, you could allow your 4-man to just sit bottom the entire time and hold bottom shrine. Uther getting a little bit caught out here, and he is going to go down. Deckard managing to get that slow to secure the kill on him there. It wouldn't be a bad way to necessarily play that, because for the most part, Leoric is going to have a bit of trouble holding top regardless if he sat up there the entire time. So if you sent Leoric to soak that mid, you could maybe look for the advantage in getting in the 4-man here. We're going to see Anarissa getting picked off, though. They do get a kill here. Level 7's now online for the side of Car Crash Sounds, but Souls and Slowmo shortly behind hitting those level 7s themselves. Basically, you send Leoric to do the double soaking, and your 4-man can sit bottom and look for those times where they've sent somebody from their 4-man over on the side of CCS to get the mid soak, and that's when you kind of force stuff and engages in the bottom lane and look for your picks. Right now, they're having Brightwing soak that mid lane. She's a lot more kind of susceptible to ganks, especially before she gets her blink heal to kind of blink to minions and get out of there. She can phase shift in, which it does work, but she also does not have the best wave clear here. All right, Tassadar starting up the siege camp over on the side of CCS, looking to get that out here. Meanwhile, still a pretty close matchup happening between Leo and Rexar in that top lane. Rexar able to hold it. We're going to see the Drain Hope being dropped onto the bear here. Leo also has the Ocean Renewal. I think that's how you say it. At level 1, so has that just like, you know, click, get a nice decent heal off and stay in the lane a little bit longer. Don't have to force it back or hit the fountain for health reasons necessarily here. We're also going to see Tassadar, Deckard, and May rotate up to start the Bruiser camp over on the side of CCS here. This is going to be pretty decent for that top lane. It's been pretty back and forth right now on who's capping that top shrine, but having that Bruiser camp capped here is going to just create a little bit more pressure in the lane. That's going to force Leoric to have to clear the lane over contesting shrine. See Born to Shine trying to continue to soak that mid lane here. A little bit of a rotation onto her, but she's out of there before anything needs to worry. Who does need to worry is this Tychus and Uther in the bottom lane, though, because they are rotating down, and their healer and other DPS are doing the Bruiser camp right now for them. We're going to see the Blizzard dropped, and that's going to zone Uther out for the time being. Here's the Force Wall from Tassadar, the follow-up damage. The Fascia comes out from Brightwing, the stun onto Cassia here, but there's just not enough damage to follow up. Level 10s are online here for Car Crash Sounds. We already saw Deckard use a Stay a While and Listen. Boars are being picked up by the Rexar. Ball Lightning from Cassia. Tacitor is going with Archon, and May still holding off on her ult, so we'll just have to give it a minute, see what she's going to pick up here. The popular one nowadays is the Ice Wall. It's on such a short cooldown, I believe. But here's the big Divine Storm from Uther. They're going to get the pick onto May. However, the Dragon's going over to the side of Car Crash Sounds. Let's see how much value they can get without having their tank up here. Now that Bruiser camp in the top lane that Car Crash Sounds has sent out has been cleared up, and Silverbell is now pushing forward with her own Bruiser camp here. You already see the Misha heal coming out, so, you know, not too much left for this bear to survive through. And Fujin's health and mana is getting quite low in this defense. Silverbell can get some good siege pressure out. Meanwhile, in this bottom lane with the Dragon, you know, without having their tank up, they seem just a little bit too scared to step forward and do much with this. They're going to get a bit of front wall damage, but there's about 20 seconds left and 20% health left on this Dragon as they step forward to try and chunk it down. We're going to see Uther kicked away, Anarissa going in for the Fend here onto Tychus. Spell Shield being dropped just to give Tychus a little bit of move speed out of there. There's the Ice Wall. That's going to go onto Brightwing, but the Blink Shift, or the Blink Heal is going to get her out of there and keep her alive. However, look at this follow-up. Out goes the Ball Lightning, out goes the Stay a While and Listen, and we're going to see Brightwing and Uther fall. Sub-Zero, the only one left up, and it's looking like he might be in some trouble himself, trying to get the counter kill onto Anarissa, but it's not gonna work out for him here, and they're gonna go ahead and secure this bottom fort.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
See, I like what Fujin's doing now, just rotating mid, catching the soak for her team here. If Jaina could have been with her 4-man, that defense on that bottom fort might have played out a little bit differently. So I would have liked to see Silverbell kind of catching the mid soak, allowing or freeing up Jaina to kind of help with the defense here. We're going to see the Siege Giant camp getting picked up by Souls and Slowmo. Meanwhile, the Bruiser camp is going to go over to the side of Car Crash Sounds in the bottom lane here. Now with the fort down in the bottom lane for Souls and Slowmo makes contesting this bottom objective a little bit more awkward for them. They don't have that structure to fall back to for safety. They don't have that fountain to tap, kind of reset and re-engage here. So it puts Car Crash Sounds at a bit of an advantage. The other thing too about, you know, losing your bottom fort, it's the lane that has the most potential for camps. There's 2 Siege Giant camps and a Bruiser camp that can go down in the bottom lane to continually create pressure there. Anarissa getting caught out though. She's going to get stunned by the Uther. The Polymorph comes out, the Divine Storm as well, and down she goes. See if we're going to make a rotation here onto the remaining members of Car Crash Sounds, because they are a bit overextended in the mid, but backed off now. They're going to clear up that mid lane. They have those Giants still in the bottom. I wouldn't have mind seeing them pressure the bottom lane a little bit more with these Giants while they had a player up on Car Crash Sounds. You have the Cassia dead for about 30 seconds, and the rest of the team more posturing mid. Again, Lior could have rotated down, caught that mid soak, allowed the 4-man to just push bottom with the Siege Giant camp that they had. We are going to see Rexar getting killed though, so they do make a rotation to get value elsewhere on the map. We're going to see that top point picked up by Souls and Slowmo, meaning no Dragon for Car Crash Sounds quite yet. There's the Ice Wall coming out though. That's going to connect onto Uther and the Brightwing here, but this time no Blizzard to follow up on top of that, meaning there's no stun out of it. It's a combo that you kind of want to get down on May if you're going to be taking Ice Walls, to make sure you are saving your Blizzard to be dropped on top of it, so as soon as they pop out of the Ice Wall, they're stuck in the Blizzard and then stunned right away. We're going to see Uther picking up this bottom shrine point. Brightwing ready to channel this Dragon, and it's looking like this one's going to go over to the side of Souls and Slowmo. Kick going out onto the May here. And they're going to start the siege in this mid lane. We have Rexar rotated down to help out. The Bruiser camp getting picked up right before that Dragon. So that's going to create some pressure in the top lane. I think Lior shouldn't have a problem clearing that out. Level 16's about to be online here. Oh, big Stay a While and Listen. That's going to be paired with that Ice Wall. But again, no Blizzard, so everybody
was never
able to walk away. However, the boars are going to slow them. The slows are coming out as well. Big Divine Storm from Uther trying to stay alive here, but he's going to fall. And now the captain looking like they might be a bit out of position as well. 2 members down on the side of Souls and Slowmo. Not quite the value we wanted to see out of this Dragon Knight here. We do have level 16s now online for Souls and Slowmo. Leoric still just looking to finish clearing up that top lane after the Bruiser camp went out. Stun from the Rexar going out onto Silverbell. And now she's getting chased down here. Fujin is looking for some blood.
destroyed a fort.
But Silverbell's going to be able to pop that heal on herself, walk away here. So Car Crash sounds about a level up in XP now. A little less than a level. Looking for the invade onto this camp. And there's the ice wall once again. But the blizzards drop on the camp to help clear that. So Tychus is going to be able to walk away here without the stun to follow up afterwards. They also have their own Siege Giant camp to pick up as well. Looks like Tassadar is going to go ahead and start that up. Meanwhile, Souls and Slowmo looking for that top Bruiser camp and a gank on Fujin. Out comes the stun from Uther, the Blizzards drop from Jaina, and down goes Rexar.
The shrines awaken once more. Who will wield the Dragon
At this point, I'd really like to see them just collapse on bottom as a 5-man and look for a fight while Rexar is dead. Take that 5v4 while you can when you're behind here. They're making up a little bit of XP difference here with that kill, but again, they just need to go for the fight while the opportunity presents itself. Still about 20 seconds here until Rexar is back up, so they could take a fight if the opportunity is here, and I would say it is at this point. They probably want to clear out the spell shield minion from this Bruiser camp, but it'd be a great time for Leoric to look for that Entomb. Unfortunately, the Leoric's rotated top here, so it's going to be a 4v4 and a lot of siege potential. There's the Blizzard to follow it up. We have the cleanse onto Tychus, but it's not going to be enough to get him out of this. Stay a while, Listen's going to connect onto the Jaina as well. However, she is backed off here. Tassar doing some really big poke damage onto her. Needs to be a bit careful. Hits the fountain. They still have a Bruiser, Siege Giant camp, and some Katas to clear up in this bottom lane. See, if Leoric had just stayed around a little bit longer, you know, you're taking Entomb here. So that Entomb is a team fight. You know, you need to be with your team to get value out of that ultimate. If he's just stuck around, it would have been a 5v4. You're on equal talent tiers. Use your Entomb and then head top. There wasn't really anything to pressuring top lane for him to have to deal with. They could have got a fight in their favor there. We are going to see the Uther fall. Tychus is back up in about 5 seconds. The Blizzard being dropped here and does catch Born to Shine. She's going to try and juke the Fen from Cassia. And she's walking away here, managing to stay alive for now. They've lost their bottom keep. Tassadar gets picked off in return here. Phase shift coming out onto the Jaina. They're going to look to clear up this lane now. They're still down their tank for another 30 seconds. Rexar is going to go ahead and cap that top. We have Cassia hanging around in the middle lane, ready to get the channel here. And Leoric not quite able to get the interrupt. The Entomb goes out. And that's a big ice wall on 3 members of Souls and Slowmo. The Blizzard to follow it up. Let's see if we can catch anyone. The stun connects onto Jaina. The Dragon breathing its fire onto her as well. Born to Shine doing what she can with those blink heals to keep her alive. But Sub-Zero is now getting caught out of position here. The phase shift's coming out. It's going to keep him alive for now. And he is able to back out of there. That Blizzard being tossed out as one last hope to secure the kill there. But Tychus and Jaina managed to survive as this Dragon sieges on to mid-keep. Dragon almost dead now. Anarissa drops out. Silverbell is here to help out the team. We have the Entomb up in 10 seconds here. They're going to get the stun and burst damage, though, that they need to get a pick onto Anarissa. And they're a little ways off of getting their level 20s here. Level 20s already online for Car Crash Sounds. We're going to see Car Crash Sounds go to work on their Bruiser camp. Meanwhile, Souls and Slowmo looking at their siege camp right now. Again, this is a time where I would really like to see Souls and Slowmos trying to force a fight. They have, you know, now that they have their level 20s online, there's still another 30 seconds until Cassia comes out. Try and force those 4v5s. Especially when they're all showing in the lane. Like right now, they're overextended past the midway point of the lane here. Down their Cassia with level 20s online for both teams. Take that 4v5 right now. There's no reason to be afraid of them. Just have everybody collapse and look for the fight in your advantage. Because at this point now, Cassia's back up. And they're just going to be fighting on equal terms again. Icing coming out. The ice wall from May. It's going to connect onto Tychus here. We have that blizzard being dropped, so the stun's going to come out as well. And Tychus is going to go down. That bottom keep is already down, and it looks like they would like to just pressure forward with the help of these Siege Giants and the Kata. They're kind of escorting in here to try and go for core at this point. Leoric's still in that top lane. Needs to think about backing here to help with the core defense. We have Stasis being popped by the Jaina, that ice block coming out to avoid the stun from Deckard, and there's the Divine Storm coming out. And look at this big entomb from Leoric! They're gonna get 3 kills onto Car Crash Sounds. The core's still taking damage here. They have those Giants to clear up. Tassadar is gonna go down as well, and May now polymorph. They're gonna chase her out, see if they can get that last pick onto her for a full team wipe, but it looks like the potions Deckard's left on the way in is going to help her escape with her life, and this means Souls and Slowmo now has a great opportunity here to try and turn this game around in their favor. They're down their keep right now, but they just need to cap those shrines, get that dragon, and push hard with it. This is a really interesting play. You don't typically see teams go for the top keep on this map because this bridge is such a big choke point here. I'm a little concerned that they're not prioritizing capping this objective, though, because, you know, there's only about 10 seconds until all of the members of Car Crash Sounds are up. Taking down top keep is great. It's going to give the dragon a way just to go straight for core, but again, you're forcing your team into these really tight chokes, which may not play out very well when you're playing into Tassadar or Stay a While and Listen. Everything's going to come out, but they're going just straight for core. They don't even want the dragon. We have the Entomb connecting onto 2 members here. They're getting quite low. They follow up with the Divine Storm, but the big Stay a While and Listen and the Ice Wall coming out here does look like we are going to see Tychus fall. The Uther already going down in this engage. Core sitting at 60% health. It's not looking too great here for the side of Souls and Slowmo. I think if they really wanted to go for a core call here, grabbing the dragon on the way would have been the way to do it. At this point, with all 5 members down on the side of Souls and Slowmo, we are going to see a core call coming out from Car Crash Sounds.
Blue team's core is taking damage. The Dragon Knight shall reduce.
And we're going to see the dragon coming in to help out with it as well. So I think it's pretty safe to say this game is going to go over to Car Crash Sounds right now. The Katas are already on that core, taking down the shields. The rest of the team rotating now. And nobody up for another 15 seconds to 30 at most over on the side of Souls and Slowmo. So GG's to Car Crash Sounds here for game number 1 of this evening. I can't wait to see what happens next. Let's take a look at this match summary. All in all, like, pretty close game. I just felt Souls and Slowmo maybe a little bit afraid to take fights that are going to be in their favor. I would like to see them play a little bit more aggressively, especially when they got those one-off picks from people that were overextended. Try to go force more fights. Go for those camp invades when you know you're going to have numbers advantage. I think they do that, and this game really starts to be more in their favor. Let's take a look at the builds as well. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to update the scores really quickly. All right, see if there's anything super sticking out here to me. Well, for the most part, nothing too surprising. There's like some talents that on certain tiers that kind of come down just to more what people feel comfortable playing with. I like the Deckard taking the reduced healing here is like super great into a Brightwing, because if you drop that on the phase shift is it's pretty good. It's also just kind of fun to watch a Deckard manage 3 buttons here because they also have the slow and the rubies. So you're just sitting like, oh, which one do I want to use? The heal reduction, the rubies, or the slow? There's just lots of options. It makes Deckard's play a little bit more entertaining if you're gonna run this build. Nothing too crazy coming out in these builds that I see that's too unusual here. Jaina, typically now these days, a lot of Jaina players are picking up the armor at 4 and the Ice Fury wand at 7. I know some people like to run blizzards, but I still think Icy Veins and the Numbing Blast can also be fairly decent if you need some kind of just CC to help yourself in the back line. I think she could have ran Blizzard if she wanted to, but it's not. Like I said, it's just kind of comes down to some people's personal preference on how they like to play the hero here. I would have liked to seen the Leoric rotate a little bit more with his team. Again, in those situations where they had gotten picks, try to force those fights. You got one of the picks in the 4-man. Have Leoric rotate down if there's nothing too worrying in your lanes to deal with. You're not going to be losing keeps or anything, and join the fight more often with an Entomb pickup to get more value out of that. But Silverbell had some pretty great late game Entombs. It's just unfortunate that they couldn't kind of catapult that into a win. We do have that next lobby up, so let me pop on over here. Oh, maybe it's not up. My invite was canceled. But we'll see in just a moment where we're going to be going for game number 2. But I can't wait to see. I mean, it's a fun matchup here tonight. I think both these teams are pretty equal, and either that game number 1 could have gone either way. The Entomb is nasty. And she even had another great one at the enemy team's core as well. They were just a lot more prepared for that one. They had the Ice Wall to come out to deny any damage onto the targets in the Entomb, as well as a Stay a While and Listen. But yeah, the 3-man Entomb defending their core was really fantastic from Silverbell. My pleasure. Should just be a few seconds more. Let me make sure I didn't miss the lobby invite. All right, there we go. I think I took too long accepting the invite here. Let me just update my overlay here to show you where we're going for game number 2. Does look like this is a map pick from the side of Car Crash Sounds. So Souls and Slowmo have opted for first pick after losing game number 1. So let me bring you on over here to this map selection screen. We're going to be headed to Infernal Shrines for game number 2. Like I said, Souls and Slowmo opting for first pick after losing game number 1. Car Crash Sounds getting the map pick option here. So this is a map that they're going to be bringing us to here. Game number 1, if you missed that, played on Dragonshire, won by Car Crash Sounds. So they are up 1 in the series. This is a best of 3. So if they can secure the win here, that's going to be a nice 2-0 sweep for CCS. However, it's a pretty close game in game number 1 here. So I'm hoping for a game number 3. But let's just see what happens here. I'm going to let them know we're ready, and hopefully we can get into this lobby in just a moment. I hope everyone in chat is having a wonderful night. I saw some new faces dropping in to cheer on these teams. I always love when, these teams kind of have their own cheerleaders that follow them around into streams to just cheer for. CCS is in particular, is pretty great org for that. But I've also seen some people in here cheering for Souls and Slowmo. So it's great to see that you guys are out supporting these teams. I'm sure they really appreciate it. All right, those readies are coming out now. Souls and Slowmo ready to go. Just waiting from the ready from car crash sounds, and we can get into game number 2 here. Now, Infernal Shrines is another map where, although a lot of the time the offlaner just likes to sit in that top lane, you can definitely do an offlaner that's going to rotate and catch that mid soak, and again, just let your 4-man sit in that bottom lane, siege that up, make sure that they have the advantage taking the camps down there because they're not missing someone that has to catch that mid soak for them. CCS has 134 NGS teams this season. Basically. I love all the names they come up with, too, to keep the CCS acronym. Kael'thas can't spell is a funny one, because they spell it with a C. Car Crash Sounds, this is a new team for this season. I know there was one last season that was can't create acronyms, and they capitalized the S. I like seeing the creativity from the CCS crew. Alright, we're gonna see the first ban Joanna once again here. I'm interested to see if we're going to see any target bans from game number 1, or if they're just going to stick with the same bans in game that they use in game number 1. We saw Joanna and Zeratul both banned out. So far, the bans are playing out the exact same way. I think the May Decker combo is very, very strong, and potentially banning out one of those pieces, because they just synergize so well together, would be a pretty good idea, and we are going to see the May being banned here. The May ice walls were pretty on point as well. You know, for the most part, I don't think she had a missed ice wall. Someone was in it every time. I would have liked to see the blizzard being sure to be held to throw on top of it, and that happened a lot of the time, not all of the time, but enough that it was definitely a big disruption here for Souls and Slowmo. Alright, that last ban for the first ban phase here is going to be the Chromie. CCS sticking with the same bans they used in game number 1. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They won last time, so why mess with the formula here? Alright, last time when they had the first pick in match number 1, Brightwing was the priority pickup for Souls and Slowmo. Let's see if they choose to go with that still.
Order a one-man wrecking crew.
No, it's gonna be the Gazlo pickup here. Hi, Velcomer. How are you doing? Meso's Maze, too good. It was really good. They played it really well. May's so fun. I feel like I should play her more. I only pick her in ARAMs. I haven't really played her outside of ARAMs, but I don't know. Her survivability is really fun. Her combos to land with her Ice Wall and Blizzard are really fun. It just feels like you can slide in, live in the enemy backline for so long, and create havoc there, and then just slide out like nothing happened. There's the Cassia Diva pickup for Car Crash Sounds, followed up by the Hanzo and Anduin by Souls and Slowmo here. Don't see Hanzo picked too often So I'm kind of excited to see what Sub-Zero has to show us here. Born to Shine also opting to go with Anduin. The Brightwing was up. So I'm wondering what kind of combos they're potentially looking to run with an Anduin. Both teams still need their tanks, and there's already been quite a bit of tank choke happening here because we see ETC getting banned out by car crash sounds. But Joanna and May already also taken off the table here. There's a Brightwing ban from Souls and Slowmo. Still need that healer over on the side of car crash sounds, so they're going to go ahead and take that away. Alright, Diablo, one of those tanks still left up here. That's going to be locked in for car crash sounds. And the Tassadar once again being picked up here. So they're kind of still sticking to similar draft. Tassadar and Cassia, we saw them played by CCS in game number 1. They paired that with the Deckard. Deckard's still up and available to take here and could actually work fairly well with the comp because you can do a stay a while and listen into an APOC combo. And then just follow that up with all the Tassadar Cassia damage for sure. Over on the side of Souls and Slowmo, they're going to finish out their draft with the Murd and Jaina lock in here. I'm a little worried about how they're going to deal with a Diablo diving them. I know they're potentially going to have that light bomb, and Andon is going to be able to save some of the targets Diablo goes for with the Leap of Faith, but a much longer cooldown than just Diablo's basic abilities on that Leap of Faith for saving someone. The thing is, they don't have Tychus this time over on the side of Souls and Slowmo, so they don't have somebody that's just going to shred him when he gets in there. We're going to see Stukov picked up here to round out the draft of Car Crash Sounds, and we're ready to get into game number 2 here on Infernal Shrines.
Prepare yourselves for battle, heroes.
All right. Let's introduce these teams. On the left-hand side, we have Souls and Slowmo. Sub-Zero playing Hanzo Olympus on the Murden Born to Shine on Anduin, the Captain playing Jaina, and Silverbell on the Gazlo. And on the right-hand side, it's going to be Car Crash Sounds, looking to take the win to close out the series here, if they do. Anarissa playing Cassia, Taijin on the Tassadar, Mesos Tables playing the Diablo, Hot Like Summer on Stukov, and Fujin on the Diva. I'm kind of waiting for some of those healers and tanks that were buffed in that last patch to like trickle down into the meta, because I think that the Malfurion picked up here would have been really great for playing into Diva. You know, you just pop your root onto her every time she uses the mech, and then she's slept after with that talent picked up at level 1. It's really, really great for just denying her to be able to get back into her mech and getting kills onto her. Same with Mal'Ganis. He got patched lately, and there's some stuff that these players have been playing that would pair really well with the Mal'Ganis as well. We're going to see both these teams do that rotation between mid and top. Meso's going in there for the stun under towers. Jaina's going to walk right into the back line trying to dump some damage. And Arissa, Mouse died? I don't think she means to be walking this way on purpose. So I'm thinking she's having Anna isn't inting. I think she's having some technical difficulties here. Yeah, so we have some technical difficulties from Anarissa, so that's why we have some weird positioning happening here on the Cassia. We're gonna see Cassia try to escape here with her life, but she is rotated too far over onto Souls in Slowmo side of the map. That's gonna be First Blood going over to the side of Souls in Slowmo, and they're gonna go ahead and start their siege camp up off that kill. Now, once they get this out, they can force that bottom siege camp as well, because they're going to have to force, you know, car crash sounds to either clear up that mid pressure or contest bottom camp. And if they decide to contest bottom camp, well, at that point, they're likely going to be missing soak in the mid because of the pressure that's created from the camps here. They're going to go ahead and lock in their siege camp as well, though, over on the side of car crash sounds. They've started that up. Meanwhile, Stukov around to clear up mid lane. Right now, I would like to see them just go straight down, start that siege camp, but they're just stalling and stalling here. Stukov is clearing out the mid lane. The rest of them rotating now to clear that up as well. So they are going to be able to potentially get this out if they're quick enough about it. We have Sub-Zero clearing the lane here, catching the soak from the minions. The rest of the members working on finishing up that bottom siege camp, and they are going to be able to secure that before the rotation from car crash sounds comes out here. They do have that siege camp pushing now in favor of car crash sounds in the mid that needs to be cleared as well. You have Jazzalene coming down. See, this is what's great on this map is you can totally just have your off lane double soak, and that means you can have your 4-man sit down in this bottom lane, create pressure, get some of this front wall down. They're always there to contest that bottom siege camp because you're always as a 4-man around here. We're going to see car crash sounds try to get a little bit of pressure onto that bottom lane right now, though. However, I will say you typically do want to get out that bruiser camp before this first objective, so it's pushing during it to create some value out of that camp. We're not going to see car crash sounds pick that up now, not without giving quite a bit of shrine burn over to the side of Souls and Slowmo. However, Jane does have to back here, so it's possible that they might get a little bit of a head start onto the objective here if they start it up right now. They're going to go ahead and do that. 4 members of CCS here to help shred the skeletal defenders down. We do see Jaina is back up now. I'd like to see a rotation from Jazzalene down to this objective to make this a 5v4 in their favor here, as they already have the camp pushing. He doesn't really need to stay in that top lane. Now, the point of having that camp pushing is that you don't have to stay up there to defend it or anything, because it's going to already be pushing in your favor, and it creates an advantage if the other team doesn't have theirs out. They do manage to zone out the members of CCS, but CCS is looking for the re-engage now. Silverbell coming down there, drops the stun out, does connect onto the Stukov. Going to dump out a little bit of damage as the force wall from Tassiter to zone them out, but right now 30 skeletal defenders for CCS, 25 for the side of Souls and Slowmo, so it's a bit of a race here. Fushin's going to get booted out of her mech here. Jaina walking forward, but stunned by the Diablo Leap of Faith coming out from Born to Shine to keep Jaina alive here. 2 more needed now for the side of CCS to secure this one. We just need to focus on finishing up those skeletal defenders, and this will be the first objective going over to the side of CCS. Level 7s are online here for the side of Souls and Slowmo in this defense, and we're seeing... Oh, thank you. We're seeing CCS also hitting those level 7s now. Scott just brought me a cup of tea. It's tea, right? Yeah, it's tea. Alright, this first Punisher getting shredded down pretty quickly here by Souls and Slowmo. CCS are going to be able to finish off the front wall of this mid fort, but that's pretty much all they'll get here. However, I will say they've had Cassia soaking that bottom lane, just continuing to try and find a little bit of an XP lead if they can. It doesn't look like there's going to be too much soak missed down there for Souls and Slowmo, so nothing too advantageous happening here for CCS. Splitting to get that bottom lane soak as long as Muradin. Yeah, Muradin's going to catch that, and that'll be good. Both those siege camps getting picked up here for these teams in the mid lane. That meaning that bottom siege camp is the potential next place to look for a little bit of a fight to break out here. Nice force wall coming out from the Tassadar. Sub-Zero having to use his trait to jump over the wall, just revive. They do have that Hanzo arrow to scout the camp to see if they started it, so nobody needs to face check bushes here. There's the Hanzo arrow coming out to see what's going on. The stun going out, though, onto Hanzo. He stepped a little bit too far forward. The Blizzard being dropped as well. Murden on this point, but taking so much damage from the members of CCS. He just has to back in. Sub-Zero very close to going down, looking like he's going to fall here as Diablo Q's onto him, gets the pick, flips the captain back over into the enemy team here, and now Jaina also looking like she might be the next to fall if her team doesn't come to help her out. Murden does jump in to kind of peel forward, lands that stun onto Hot Lake Summer, and Jaina lives to see another day. CCS doing what they can with this advantage, that level 10 and Hanzo dead, to try and create some pressure in this bottom lane with this siege camp. They're going to step forward. They already got that wall down and now look to get that fort down. And here's the APOC combo attempt there. Was interrupted. Murden managing to dwarf toss out of that flip and avoid the damage here. Level 10's very close to being online here for Souls and Slowmo. But meanwhile, those level 10s over on the side of CCS, we are going to see Flailing Swipe from the Stukov. Ball Lightning from Cassie, Apocalypse from the Diablo, we already saw him use that one. Micro Missiles coming out from D.Va, and Archon from the Tassadar here. Those level 10s are online now for the side of Souls and Slowmo. Slowly getting locked in. It's going to be Light Bomb from Anduin, Gravel Bomb getting picked up by the Gazlo here. Avatar is getting picked up by Murden. Still waiting on those Hanzo, Jaina ults, and there we do have Hanzo picking up Dragon Strike. Typically, we see Dragon's Arrow getting picked up on that Hanzo, provide a little bit more CC and lockdown into those team fights. I'm interested to see what kind of value they get with the Dragon's Arrow. I'm thinking, or sorry, the Dragon's Strike. Thinking they're going to try to pair it with the Apocalypse and the Gravel Bomb, maybe even the Light Bomb as well on top of that. But you really need to make sure that you have some good long CC chain lockdown if you want to get value from this ultimate. We're going to see the camp invade, though, over on the side of Souls and Slowmo. CCS looking to try and grab that. And there's the Gravel Bomb coming out, connecting onto 3 members of CCS. The Ring of Frost also going out. That's just going to connect onto the Diablo Light Bomb, stunning Diablo and D.Va. However, it's Jaina that falls in this engage. A lot of ultimates, in fact, all of them down now for each team. Apocalypse just coming back up now, and the camp being secured by CCS. We're now about a level up in XP. All right, there's a nice stun onto the Murden. He's going to go ahead and jump on out of there to keep themselves alive. Gazlo's continuing to soak, but the shrine here started up. Fujin shredding through it, and they're already over halfway done towards getting this Punisher out. All 5 members now rotated up here to try and contest, but at this point, with only 7 more skeletal defenders needed by CCS, this objective is going to go over to them. There's not, you step up and you're probably just going to end up taking a fight. If you lose it, you've already lost the objective. If you lose the fight, you lose your potential to defend the objective at that point as well. This one is a Frozen Punisher, so it's going to be shutting down those forts. We have the Leap of Faith out onto the Murden to keep him alive. Diablo going in to combo him, but not quite working out here.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
We're going to see Murden, we're going to see Hanzo eating that Punisher jump. Look at how much damage he's going to take for that. And Arissa stepping forward, trying to finish him off. You can see the Ball Lightning go out, but it doesn't really get much value there as it only had that one bounce. Here's the Dragon Strike to try and defend this fort. Here's the other thing about Dragon Strike. It doesn't even do damage to minions. So it's not even like a great wave clear ultimate either. Meanwhile, D.Va and Gazlo kind of facing off down this bottom lane. Fujin does have her Mech Explosion up, and it looks like we might even see a rotation, a possible flank here. Mesos was looking for it, but fortunately for Gazlo, Souls and Slowmo were also all rotating down to that bottom lane. Level 13's almost online here, but for the meantime, we're going to see CCS go for that invade on the siege camp and manage to secure that over on the side of Souls and Slowmo. I really, really would just like to see Souls and Slowmo force some of these fights more often when they're on equal talent tiers. Well, Silverbell's going to get caught out of position here. Out comes a grab bomb. 3 members caught in it, but the team not quite around to follow up. Light bomb's going to be used as well. That's going to stun 3 people, but Fusion is in this backline, dropping that mech explosion. Look at this Hanzo ult. Maybe he's getting a little bit of value here. The Stukov goes down. Diablo getting quite low. They're going to get the pick there, but in turn, Jaina and Muradin falling over on the side of Souls and Slowmo. And Anarissa is on the chase now. Silverbell getting quite low. We're going to see Sub-Zero jump over that wall just to kind of create a little bit of space between him and the Diva. But a 2-for-2 right now in this fight. I will say, though, CCS just lost their souls on their Diablo, so he's going to be a little bit more squishy for these engages. And when you're playing from behind, generally, you know, doing an even trade in team fights like that is not a terrible thing to just to try to catch up on XP. But there's a lot of pressure that's now kind of built in their other lanes here. Their mid fort is looking like it might be in some danger. Gazlo taking a bunch of damage here as well. And this time, no leap of faith to save that player here. We're going to see Gazlo getting picked off. An objective will be coming up soon. They're going to secure this mid fort, which opens this up for objective as well. So there's like 2 siege camps that they had picked up there, kind of just built up the pressure in the mid and already had done so much damage to that mid fort during that team fight. It didn't take too much to finish it off there. Now that is also where the next Punisher is coming in, so they already have that lane opened up for your next objective. Beautiful root silence from the Stukov there. You're going to see the Hanzo ult come out to try and just peel and get a little bit of pressure onto CCS to allow them to defend this bottom keep. However, CCS is not afraid to just get what value they can out of their camps. We've seen them a couple times this evening. You know, once they get that camp and they have some katas around, they're pushing to try and get structure value or a little bit more out of it. We're going to see the light bomb come out, connects onto Tassadar. Flailing Swipe coming out from the Stukov, but he's going to get caught in the grab bomb from Gazlo. Down goes the Tassadar right before objective. Level 16s are online here for CCS, and we're just a little bit shy of hitting level 16s on the side of Souls and Slowmo. This is where they really need to try and force stuff. They have the man advantage now. This is their fight to win. They're going to get 16 off this mid wave and just go all in for the fight here. They still have Ring of Frost and Avatar up. Hanzo's ultimate is about to come up in 2 seconds here. I want to see them play a little bit more aggressive. Don't play so passive. Don't let them just walk off this objective. Get in there. Throw some stuns. Drop some abilities. So right now you're looking at Tassadar coming back up, and now you're definitely going to have to take a fight when they come back in. There's stuns coming out onto that Stukov there, but no follow-up. They're just focused on getting this objective down. Hanzo dropping his ultimate to kind of zone them off a little bit. Have the stuns coming out from Gazlo to create a little bit of zoning as well. But now we have the Apocalypse combo, and we have Tassadar back into this fight. Ring of Frost goes out from Jaina. The big gravel bomb from the Gazlo. Flailing Swipe from Stukov. The mech explosion out from Diva. We do see Jaina go down here, but in return, Stukov is going to fall as well. 30 to 35 in skeletal defenders. Both teams just trying to finish them off. Look for what kills they can. Anarissa is getting quite low, but this next objective goes over to the side of Car Crash Sounds. Souls and Slowmo also losing their top keep in this process. They had that Bruiser Cam pushing top the entire time with the periodic katas, and now katas in every wave that are going to start stacking up here. See if Souls and Slowmo can get the picks off of these Punisher jumps. They could potentially look to end here. Still a little bit early in the game, but with the amount of pressure and how these team fights have been going, I'm actually kind of a bit surprised that they're backing off. It's not a bad call, though. I just think they've been winning these team fights pretty dominantly here, that they could have maybe stuck around. But they didn't have their healer up, so it's not a horrible call. And they're also well on their way to hitting 20s first. So at this point, it's a pretty good idea just to back off and let those level 20s come to you, and then look for those fights up a talent tier. You see that Bruiser Camp getting picked up by Souls and Slowmo. Bottom siege camp locked in by CCS here. And now they just kind of need to play patiently. just wait for 20s to come to them. The best place that they can catch a little bit more XP is that top lane without overextending too much. And they have vision of all of Souls and Slowmo right now in that bottom lane. They were just showing on the minion wave. So they know that they can step up a little bit here to clear that bruiser camp, get a little bit more XP. It's going to be a pretty slow game until those 20s are online here for CCS because there's really no reason for them to try to enforce anything. And I think they're well aware of that. Souls and Slowmo, though, might, you know, if I was on their team, I would definitely be considering trying to find that enemy team and forcing a fight before those level 20s are online. You're 2 levels behind on XP. It's going to be a very long time before level 20s are up for them, potentially not even on time to contest this next objective. So if you look for those fights before level 20s are up, you can try and maybe close out that XP advantage that CCS has. Look at this flank from the Diablo. Silverbell walking right through the bush. Oh, they didn't do anything with that. They're looking at D.Va instead. We just have Muradin getting caught out by the Force Wall with the grab bomb coming out. The Hanzo damage being popped on top. What? They're getting value out of the Hanzo ultimate. We're going to see Cassia go down. The Ring of Frost coming out as well. They get the pick onto D.Va. And now Diablo is going to get picked off. They're taking a fight down level 20s and turning this match around. Souls and Slowmo. What the heck? Where is this? Where is this aggression when you have Talontiers on equal footing? But it doesn't matter because they managed to make it work out here. And we're going to see the Shrine coming up now. And here's the aggression I want. They're going for the invade now onto this top bruiser camp, and they're going to catch Diablo and Stukov out. The root connects from Born to Shine onto Stukov there, but just no damage to follow it up. The rest of the members looking at clearing up those lanes before objective. They need to be a little bit careful. There's still a 2v3 in their favor on the side of Souls and Slowmo. All right, they have about 10 seconds for Cassia, 25 seconds till Tastar, and D.Va spawning somewhere in between there for CCS to kind of get this Punisher cleared up. But I have a feeling CCS is going to be able to come up and contest this objective. If they wanted to. Surprisingly, we're going to see actually Cassia and D.Va clear up that top lane, which is going to create enough of a window here to make it a bit awkward for CCS to contest objective. So this Punisher is going to go over to the side of Souls and Slowmo. But all 5 members of CCS are up for the defense, and you have to remember that top keep is down on the side of Souls and Slowmo, meaning they have katas in every lane. You see that Punisher jump coming out onto Diablo. He's going to go ahead and eat that and tank it. Like to really see them try to get something out of this Punisher because right now it's getting shredded so quickly by the side of CCS. You think we're still in the early game here. There's the leap from the Punisher. Hanzo dropping his ultimate here. Going to create a little bit of space maybe. You're going to try and finish off this fort. But that's all they're going to get off this Punisher. And now they're very overextended in the lane here. We do have that nice root silence coming out. Silverbell getting caught in the Hell's Gate from Diablo. Light Bomb coming out to try and keep him alive. Look at this big ice! Oh, the Ring of Frost into the Gravel Bomb. Connects so well, but they aren't able to get any picks off this. The Hanzo ultimate back up now. If he just saved that for that combo, it would have been so good here. They're still looking for those picks. Hot Like Summer, very low here. Diablo also getting quite low, but we have those Stukov heals coming online here. Nobody goes down in that fight. What a big wombo combo. Souls and Slowmo getting that siege camp after pushing back the members of Car Crash Sounds. Oh man, if Hanzo had had his ult up to pair with that Ice Ring and Gravel Bomb combo, whew, that just would have been bye-bye CCS there. Stukov OP. That's another thing, just when you're playing against the Stukov, is to kind of try and keep an eye on when he pops that heal, the big heal, because that's a 15-second cooldown, I believe. So, 15 seconds is quite a long time for him to not have any kind of burst heal for his team. As soon as you see him pop that, then go for those Ring of Frost, Gravo Bomb, Light Bomb, Hanzo, Dragon Strike combos. You see Souls and Slowmo just try to push out that top lane a little bit here, as that is the lane that's spawning Katas. Meanwhile, CCS looking to potentially siege up onto this bottom keep. They're going to back off, though. At this point in the game, you lose a team fight and you potentially have lost the game at that point. Even with no keeps down, they could look to maybe just siege straight through bottom keep on the side of CCS if they did win a team fight over in favor of Souls and Slowmo. CCS going to clear up that top bruiser camp, and this next shrine is going to be spawning in the mid lane here. All the ultimates up now for both teams here. I like what CCS is about to do. They saw their bruiser camp is coming up in a second. They're going to get that out. It's a great camp for them to pick up before this objective, because this is also the lane where they have Kata spawning here. And look at CCS. They're actually just going to maybe try to force something here. They have a few Katas, a bruiser camp in their favor. Souls and Slowmo have started up the objective. Silverbell is backed now. Do you have that mech explosion up on Fujin? I don't think that they can end here, not without having some picks, but out goes the Hanzo ultimate. I really, really would like to see that saved for the Wombo combo, because the Gravel Bomb and Ring of Frost provide great CC, but with the nerfs to Gravel Bomb now, not as much burst as they need to kind of secure those kills. They really need that Hanzo ultimate on top of everything to finish off everyone here. So that's going to be down for another 35 seconds. We're going to see Diablo pop his Hellgate here to get into position. And meanwhile, with that space created, CCS has started the burn on the shrine here. 19 kills. Here's the big Gravel Bomb. That's going to catch all 5 members of Car Crash Sounds. Silverbell with these grab bombs. Oh my gosh. Cassia's going to fall here. You see the captain. Another grab bomb coming out here. Stun onto Tassadar. He's going to fall as well. Diablo as stunned. And we're going to see the Hanzo ultimate come out. That Jaina Blizzard slowing Diablo just a little bit to take some damage from the Hanzo ultimate. But this Punisher is going to go over to the side of Souls and Slowmo once again. Let's see what they can do with this now. 2 of the main DPS stealers over on the side of CCS down for the defense. They might be able to get a bit more value out of this Punisher, especially since it's a frozen Punisher. It's going to be shutting down those forts and towers during the siege here. Keep in mind, though, they have Kata stacking in that top lane that are a potential threat to their core if they take too long trying to finish this.
Blue team has destroyed a fort.
All right, that keep is shut down for the moment from the Frozen Punisher. We're going to see that fall off right now. But it does look like Souls and Slowmo pushing forward, trying to secure this mid-keep. We see the Gravo Bomb coming out, connecting onto Fujin. No follow-up damage to secure the kill. The Punisher is still quite healthy here, 50% health left. The Hanzo ultimate coming out. Stukov going to use that flailing swipe to try and disengage, and we saw the Ring of Frost being dropped as well. Sub-Zero getting quite low. Punisher still quite healthy. The core's falling 40% and going down. Here's the APOC out from Diablo to help zone out. It does look like game number 2 is going to go over to the side of Souls and Slowmo. GG's and well played. We have a game 3 on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at this match summary here in just a moment. And I'm going to give my voice a bit of a rest between this match and have some tea. All right. Try not to talk too much in between matches, because I know my voice is going to be killing me solo casting towards the end of this series, now that it's going to 3 games. Right, I'm just waiting for that next lobby to come up here. I gotta say, Silverbell, kind of my MVP of this game. Some of her grab bombs were just, my god, absolutely on point to turn these team fights around. It was so well played. She had the amazing entombs in game number 1 as well. That almost got her team the win in the late game. It's some pretty good Ring of Frost coming out from Jaina as well to kind of set up these gravel bombs. I think this is a comp that, you know, when you're looking at some of the teams that are what they're running down in these ranks, they're not necessarily looking at how their team synergizes together. Whereas this is a comp that seems like they are looking to synergize their ultimates together. This is something that they've drafted to kind of really pair well and work off of each other's ultimates. 16 talent for Stukov. Pox Populi. Anyway, so what I was saying is, like, a lot of the teams you see in some of the lower divisions, you're kind of just seeing the players pick heroes that they're comfortable on. They're not really thinking about how are these heroes going to synergize together to get kills for our team. But the draft of Souls and Slowmo here, it's very clear that they are looking to pair all of their ultimates together. Just have that big wombo combo ultimate happening here with the Ring of Frost, throwing the grab bomb on top of it, even the light bomb in some situations, and topping it all off with the Hanzo. Worked really well. I think, you know, they got the win here, and it could have worked even better if they were a little more careful about ensuring that they were saving their ultimates to use with each other. There was a few times there we saw like the Hanzo arrow go out or the grab bomb come out, and the other ultimates or players weren't around to really pair off of it there. So they run this a little bit more, get a bit more synergy happening, communication with their team. This is a comp that you're going to have to look out for playing into Souls and Slowmo in the future. We do have that next lobby up here. We'll see where we're going for game number 3. Let me update our map selection screen. And I think I might need to update the score as well here. So let me do that. Okay, so it does look like after losing game number 2, CCSS opted to go with first pick, giving map pick over to the side of Souls and Slowmo. So let's go to that map selection screen now. Make sure I updated it. All right, we are going to be going to Volskaya Foundry for game number 3 here. This one picked by Souls and Slowmo. If you're curious about how tonight's played out so far, those map bans coming out. Braxis and Battlefield of Eternity banned out by Souls and Slowmo. Alterac and Towers of Doom banned out by Car Crash Sounds here. First game was played on Dragonshire, a map picked by Car Crash Sounds. And the win also going over to the side of CCS there. For game number 2, we went to Infernal Shrines. The win this time, Souls and Slowmo finding themselves on the board, bringing us to game number 3 here. Volskaya Foundry. think everyone is excited that they're getting a game number 3 out of tonight. Myself included. They're saying in the lobby my breathing still hasn't slowed down after that match. And someone goes, I think my butt cheeks are still clenched. Alright, I'm going to let them know that we're ready whenever they are. Look to get into game number 3. This has been quite the exciting series tonight. Just want to take a moment, if anybody is not following the channel and you enjoy casted Heroes of the Storm, make sure to hit that follow button. I generally cast 4 to 5 times a week here. And pretty much every week there's for sure casted games on Fridays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 3 p.m. If you want to catch those, my next NGS stream is going to be tomorrow at 6 p.m. I'll be casting Ice Crown Citadel Queens, taking on Tar Pit Tipplers. Feels like a name that... Interesting name. But yeah, I'll be casting that tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific if you'd like to come watch that match. Ice Crown Citadel Queens, I think, is an all-female team as well. But let's get into this. Last game here. The draft. So CCS opted for first pick here after losing game 2. Let's see what they're going to prioritize for those bans. They're going to stick to the same things. And also what they're going to prioritize for those... Oh, look at that respect band coming out right to kick things off. We're going to see Jazzalene band out here. We saw them banning Zeratul and Chromie as their first priority bans. The first half of the ban phase in game number 1 and 2. They're going to switch it up here. Go with that Jazzalene because of Silver Bell's amazing grab bomb she was hitting in game number 2. Souls and Slowmo also going with the target ban here. We saw Mei being played by CCS in game number 1, so they're going to go ahead and ban that out because she was a pretty nasty Mei player. Or I should say they were. I'm not sure. You know, I always do that is, even if I know the gender of the person playing the hero, I always just call the hero, I call them by whatever their hero's gender is. There we go. See that Zeratul band coming out once again. They must have a pretty mean Zeratul over on the side of Souls and Slowmo because this has been a ban for every single game tonight in this series. Alright, this last ban of the first ban phase here. It's going to be that Tassadar. I like this ban because they have been playing Tassadar every single game here. So just taking away one of those comfort picks for car crash sounds might put them in a little bit more of a bind. However, now that Tassadar's banned out and the Chromie's up, so we didn't see CCS ban Chromie and they have first pick here. We're going to see Taijin, who we've been seeing playing the Tassadar, pick up Chromie to kick off the draft of CCS.
For the alliance of
This realm needs me.
Meanwhile, Souls and Slowmo going to go ahead and lock the Anduin and Li Ming. Both these mages quite good at just providing a lot of poke on this objective. There's not really much to get in the way of Li Ming chucking orbs and missiles on this objective. The only thing that really stops it is, you know, either you dodge it or you maybe have a turret that's going to tank those shots for you, but it's not like there's minions or creeps on the point here.
I play to win.
We're going to see Joanna and Diva locked in here for the side of Car Crash Sounds. Now, I'm interested to see how this plays out because they have banned Joanna both games on the side of Souls and Slowmo. This time they're letting it through and Messos is going to pick that up well they can. And we've already seen the Diva played tonight by Fujin in game 2. So no surprises there, sticking with something we've already seen here. And then there's the Stukov band now coming out from Souls and Slowmo. Again, we just saw Stukov being played by CCS in game 2. And the Stukov was landing some really, really good root silence combos once they had that level 13 online. So definitely don't blame them for getting rid of that. I would potentially look to get rid of that as well, because it's a big threat. Especially when you have something like a Chromie that can just dump a ton of damage on top of that root silence here. I think it's a good ban. And the last band to come out here by CCS is going to be the Sonya band. Sonya, we haven't seen her tonight picked up by any of the members of Souls and Slowmo. However, if somebody does play her over there, she is very, very strong position right now in the meta. Her W build, quite strong as well. You know, you can hit that on the front line and it's going to, the range on it is so big that it's going to do damage to the back line as well. She's just in a really great spot, so banning that as they need still that offlaner to be picked up is not a bad idea at all. We're going to see the Varian coming out here as well as the Greymane. So looks like Souls and Slowmo is going for a taunt blow up comp here.
Victory for the Forsaken.
All right, Sylvanas and Brightwing now locked in to round out the draft of CCS. Sylvanas always a great pickup here because you can take that Merc Queen talent on level 4. You're going to be able to buff those turrets. The last pickup here for their offlaner is going to be Murky. Now, funny enough, I've seen Silverbell match up against a Diva as Murky just this past weekend, and she kind of killed it. So I'm excited to see how this plays out here. You know, she went slime build and got stacked fairly early in the game here, and I think that's definitely a possibility going into a Diva here just to stack those slime stack off of. So I'm excited to see how this plays out. I always love a good Murky game. Typically, the one thing I will say about Varian comps is Varian doesn't provide a ton of CC and peel for his team. You're really needing to get those picks off of the taunt, and if that pick doesn't come off, you know, the enemy team can kind of just at that point face roll you because there's nothing to really stop them from disengaging. However, they do have the light bomb on Anduin to help out there. And you really just kind of have a resets comp in general with the Li Ming Greymane pickup.
Commence combat preparations.
So let's get into this. Game number 3 here. I'm going to take one sip of tea before I do the introductions. Okay. We have Souls and Slowmo on the left-hand side, Sub-Zero playing Greymane, Silverbell on the Murky, the Captain playing Li Ming, Born to Shine on Anduin, and O-Line Bus on the Varian. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, it's Car Crash Sounds, Fujin playing Diva, Anarissa on Sylvanas, Taijin playing Chromie, Mesotables on the Joanna, and Hot Like Summer playing Brightwing. Let's get into this. We're 1-1 in the series. The winner of this match takes it all. See who comes out on top here. We're going to see Murky break off to go start soaking that bottom lane right away. She's going to go ahead and set up her egg down there. And Bribe being picked up here by the Murky as well. So keep an eye out. Might see some Murky turret invades potentially, trying to get that out. It's going to drop that pufferfish. I mean, the difficult thing is in the early game, Murky's really going to struggle into Diva. There's First Blood there. We're going to miss that. It's going to go over to the side of CCS. Greymane getting picked off in the rotation. They're going to miss a little bit of soak here too. They left this top lane a little bit too early. They're going to miss about, you know, 4 or 5, not 3 or 4 minions here of XP on that rotation. Turrets are now up and available. We're going to see Li Ming and Anduin go ahead and start up the side of Souls and Slowmo. Like I said, early game for Murky is going to be a little bit of an issue taking on Diva in that off lane. But keep in mind, I know Silverbell likes to go Slime Quest. So once that is online and you have a body like Diva that doesn't really burst you down super fast, she's going to be able to stack pretty good off of the D.Va. We're going to see Sylvanas pick up the turret camp over on the side of Car Crash Sounds as well. Yeah, it's definitely a struggle. It's a struggle because D.Va can pretty easily shred down his pufferfish, so he can't get stacks. Also quite capable just kind of sitting on the Murky. But I do know, like, I've seen Silverbell with this matchup, and although the early game is a struggle, the late game, she really comes online because she goes Slime Quest here. And it's not too hard to stack off a D.Va for Slime. Going to see the Leap of Faith come out onto Varian here to keep him alive. Level 4 is now reached by Souls and Slowmo as well, which means their comp's coming online here. You got that Varian taunt being picked up. There's a rotation potentially down onto the D.Va here. D.Va quite overextended in that lane. Greymane's going to catch the soak in the meantime. Fujin looking like she might get a bit caught out. Here's the taunt coming out onto D.Va. They get the mech down, and now Baby D.Va looking to try and escape here, but she's going to fall. They trade that, though. In turn for the kill onto D.Va, they are going to give the biotic emitter over to the side of Car Crash Sounds. They're also looking at potentially missing a little bit of soak again in that top lane. You know, this kind of adds up if you're not catching it. Greymane's grabbing the siege camp, but nobody's really catching the wave up here. They've missed about half of a wave of soak. Almost a wave in total in that top lane. Fortunately, though, they're still mostly catching up or keeping up on XP with CCS at this moment. Now, CCS is coming to this first objective with a biotic emitter and a turret. Top of that, Sylvanas has gone Merc Queen, so she's going to give that little buff to the turrets, make them big turrets for this objective. Meanwhile, we do see Silver, as I was saying, she did take that slime time at level 4, already at those 3 stacks, looking to stack that up. Fujin does have her mech explosion up for the objective here, but we're going to see her team clear up that top lane first so that their siege giants can get a little bit more value during objective. Meanwhile, the channel started up for Souls and Slowmo. They managed to get to 20% and have walked off the point now to go clear top, leaving it uncontested for now. You see Silver drop that puffer fish out, try to get a couple more stacks on the bribe here. And for now, CCS able to get the channel started onto this objective themselves. Currently sitting at about 30% and climbing. Do have that turret camp coming back up now on both teams. If the teams would like to try to get that, just to have another item to drop at this objective. Really great thing for the Sylvanas, especially because she has that Merc Queen talent. So we are going to see Sylvanas and Brightwing start up that turret camp. Meanwhile, the channel dropped off a little bit here and now just being contested. Taunt going out onto D.Va. It's going to drop that mech explosion just to get herself out of this situation. Create space to back out after falling out of her mech. The turret did go down there for the side of Souls and Slowmo. They haven't picked up their other turret yet. Murky has also backed off to just go soak other lanes here. So this is a 5v4 in favor of Car Crash Sounds. They do drop a turret and a biotic emitter. Their second turret is down as well. They can just sit back out of that turret range over on the side of Souls and Slowmo. They're going to continue to channel this here. So they do have the full objective going off. So they do manage to reach 82% before being pushed off by CCS. Almost got that kill on the Greymane, but not quite. A really good play there for Souls and Slowmo just to stay out of range of those turrets. Kind of just dropped them, but didn't really get to do too much damage with them at all. If they can get them poked down at this point, even better. Those time traps out from Chromie. Thought she might be able to catch the Li Ming, but Li Ming just perfectly centered in between them there. So she's going to be okay. We do have Silverbell, did get that other turret now. She's going to walk in. Polymorph comes out, but was able to drop the turret. Taunt is on to the Brightwing. Greymane diving in to secure the kill. They're stuck in that slowing stance, so a bit of damage caught from them by Chromie, but they push the members of CCS off this point, start the channel up again. CCS managing to get to 99% before Brightwing goes down. We might see them try to contest this one more time, but no, this is going to go over to the side of Souls and Slowmo. You know, with Brightwing able to just phase shift in, they potentially could have tried to contest that a little bit longer. You know, their health bar is looking pretty okay to have done that there and it would have been a 5v5 again pretty easily. We're going to see Murky in that protector with Li Ming, meaning that there's nobody to catch that bottom lane soak, and D.Va soaking the mid and bottom lane is going to kind of start to shove Car Crash Downs potentially a little bit ahead if nobody is going to be there to also soak in return. They're going to get a kill onto Anduin as well. This is the thing about these early protectors is they really don't do much, and depending on who you put in it, can make it pretty easy just to walk past it and look for picks behind it. Even here with the members that potentially could, you know, provide the CC and heals and peels behind the protector there, they still were able to walk in and get a kill onto Anduin. Level 10's online for both teams here. Well, it was just the Anduin and Murky that got picked off by Souls and Slowmos with that push. That's going to create enough of a window here for that biotic emitter to get picked up by CCS once again. Those level 10s that we have online for CCS, Micro Missiles from the D.Va, Blink Heal from Brightwing, Wailing Arrow from the Sylvanas, Blessed Shield from the Joanna, Slowing Sands, we've already seen that. That's been online for a while for Chromie here. Polymorph there, connecting onto Varian. He's going to go ahead and use his Protect. That's the level 10 he picked up here. It's that shield wall to deny damage. We also have Octo Grab from Murky, Wave of Force from the Li Ming, Cursed Bullet from Greymane, and Light Bomb from the Anduin. All right, we see D.Va once again positioning really far forward in this lane. Do you have Varian coming out, dropping the taunt? She's not going to be able to... Oh, she is able to get her mech explosion off, though. However, it doesn't matter because she gets picked off anyways after she's her little baby D.Va, not able to get back into the mech before the kill is secured there. There's some pressure in that top lane starting to mount up there for Souls and Slowmo to have to deal with here. They have that siege camp picked up as well, and the fountain is getting targeted by minions. You don't want to lose your fountain in this top lane. It's going to fall here. Oh, what an unfortunate thing to lose at this point in the game. We see the invade, though, happening down here over this turret camp. Leap of Faith coming out onto the captain to try and keep the Li Ming alive. However, she's going to fall. We see the Blessed Shield being popped there, but it doesn't quite connect. However, they still get a kill onto Murky, and the egg for Murky is down. So this is a full death timer on the Murky. Greymane able to walk away here to live another day, and we see Anduin now rotating top to clear that up. They lost their fountain up there, which is a big deal because that was the one thing giving them an advantage going into this next objective. You can see over here, over on the side of CCS, they managed to get that fountain with the first Triglaw Protector. But now that they've lost theirs as well, it kind of just evens everything out. They don't have that to just back up and reset at. Not only that, but Anarissa is now shutting down their top fort, and they're looking to siege this up. Let's see if Anarissa might be in a bit of trouble for this. We do have that taunt coming out onto Sylvanas, the light bomb on top of that, and they're going to lose a turret for this as well as Sylvanas. We still have Souls and Slowmo almost a level down in XP here, but getting these picks where they can is going to help them out. The thing is, they can't be leaving their lanes unsoaked and unattended and allowing to get so much pressure built up in them going for these ganks. You had Murky come up for this gank as well, so that meant the entire time Fujin pushing in this bottom lane, you're missing a little bit of soak here, and that really just starts to add up over time. It's great that they're kind of making up for it with kills, but they just need to make sure that they're also catching their soak from the minions as well to continue to keep up with CCS here. So now we have that biotic emitter up here. Let's see if either of these teams want to make a play for that before going to objective. The channel has started for Souls and Slowmo. They're at 50% and climbing here. That biotic emitter started up now by the side of Car Crash Sounds. Varian scouted it out, knows that they're on it, but nothing that they can do to contest. They're just not in position to do that. We're going to see Murky come over, bribe the turret camp of Car Crash Sounds, and I'd like to see Murky head up towards that top objective as well, at least to just drop the turret. But also his Octo Grab is coming up here. It's up right now. So get that pick, drop a turret, and then you can go back to doing your soak. They're going to back off here. You know, there's a small window. Level 16s are not online for CCS, and this is where they kind of need to force a fight over on the side of Souls and Slowmo. Get that fight in before level 16s are online. You have Octo Grab up. You have a turret on your Murky. You have your turret on your Anduin. Try to force something now. This is the best point for you to do that. You're not going to be able to get 16s before objective goes over to the side of CCS here, so this is your opportunity. Big silence coming out from the Sylvanas there. The Murky does go down, not before the turret is dropped though, it looks like. And they're going to get the pick onto Brightwing. Here comes the mech explosion. Sub-Zero looking like it might connect, but he is going to go out of his Worgen form to avoid that damage. However, Varian stuck in the back line here. No help from his team. He's going to get picked off, and Anduin, who tried to step forward to help out, is going to fall as well. So a 2.5 for 1 there. So they got the Murky pick. Murky's going to walk onto the point, try to stall this out a little bit more, but I don't think it's going to do too much here. In fact, Sub-Zero kind of getting baited into their death as well, potentially. Oh, able to walk away, though. Level 16's online now for CCS. We're going to see Greymane back to get his health back up here. But this top fort is going to fall.
Red team has destroyed the fort.
Now, Murky currently sitting at 14 of the 20 slime stacks needed here. Looking to just try and get those stacks off of the D.Va in mid. But again, it's a bit of a struggle. Because D.Va, slowly but surely does chunk down Murky and also kills his pufferfish pretty easily. Now sitting at the 15 stacks, but going to pay for his life for one of those stacks there. And this mid fort is also looking like it might go down. But there's a taunt onto the Sylvanas, who manages to use her Banshees to get out of there. And the phase shift from Hot Like Summer coming in to keep her alive and back into the fight here. They're now eyeing this bottom fort, and they're getting some good value out of this Triglaw Protector. We already saw top fort fall, we saw mid fort fall, and now bottom fort looking like it's going to go down as well. They're going to shove the tank into Car Crash Sound's backline. Not really much to do off of that, because no real lockdown for CCS with Joanna inside the Triglaw Protector right now. Okay, mid fort didn't go down, but like, it's going to go down very soon, right? They're even rotating back up. We have the Octo Grab coming out onto D.Va. And now they're looking at that mid fort. Just a little bit of poke damage out there, and they could have it. Light Bomb connecting onto a couple members here of CCS. Trying to get a fight in with that level 16 talent here. Now evened out here for both the teams, but they aren't quite able to get those picks in onto CCS here. Joanna getting quite low. Greymane going in, trying to finish it off. The phase shift does not come in on time. Down goes Joanna. They're on the chase for more here. Hot Like Summer taking a bit of damage, but able to get behind their mid-fort wall to live another day. Silverbell rotating over, looking for the invade onto this turret camp. Going to use those bribe stacks and secure that. I'd like to see them, try to siege something down, open the map up. Particularly, probably bottom would be a great place to start at this point, because that's where the next objective is. If you can get that down, get that fountain down, and kind of even things up a little bit for next objective, that'd be a great play. They're going to back off and grab camps here, though. This is also okay, because you're going to have those items at the next objective. But keep in mind, just because they've lost their fort in the top lane, their mid fort is very close to going down with the Chromie on the team to kind of poke it down, or Sylvanas to walk forward and shut it down. Oh, Silverbell. Whew. Almost losing a turret there, but it's going to pop into his little bubble and manage to back away. But yeah, keep in mind, because they have those structures down in the top lane, you have those periodic katas coming in that are really going to start to stack up in that top lane during this next objective here. Murky also needs to be careful about losing his life. Oh my goodness, Silverbell! Every time I think they're going to lose that turret, they managed to just pop into the bubble in time, and now we have the Octo Grab, the rotation from the team to pop the taunt, the phase shift coming out from Brightwing, going to keep Fusion alive, and they managed to back out. They only get the mech out of that. CCS with all the mechs, yeah. All right, Murky pushing out that top lane, has that siege camp here to help him out. But we're going to see the rotation from CCS to clear that top lane out. Level 20 is almost online now for the side of CCS as well. D.Va once again alone in the lane, but behind safety this time. Greymane looking to see. I would love right now. You have vision of them all top for a moment. Like, just get that fountain down really quick. Got a Greymane just to siege it up. Murky's keeping an eye on the rotation, creating distraction there. But at this point, it's too late. They shouldn't be doing it now, because they're just going to get caught out without their level 20s. They don't have a fort to retreat to. You have Joanna just running at them mounted, ready to pop a Blessed Shield if she wants it. Her team maybe wasn't close enough for her to use it. So no follow-up would have been right online.
It's time, heroes. Control the terminal and bring in the protector.
At this point, Souls and Slowmo just looking to get those level 20s as well so they can contest this next objective. The channel's already started though. We're going to see D.Va on the point. Slowing Sands being dropped by Chromie here. How much health is on the mid fort? I don't know how to tell. 1. There's 1 health on the mid fort right now. I'm just guessing, but I'm gonna say 1. Turret cam getting picked up by car crash sounds. Over on the side of Souls and Slowmo. They're gonna grab theirs as well. So they have 2 turrets and a biotic emitter over on the side of Souls and Slowmo to contest this. Their level 20s are now online as well. So let's see what they can do here. We got that turret being dropped by car crash sounds. There's a Chromie time trap connecting onto Varian. However, she wasn't able to get any damage onto that. We're going to see them come in now, drop the biotic emitter and their turrets onto this point. Varian, though, had that silence coming out. They're going to fall here to kick this engage off. Greymane trying to find something, but nobody's health bar is getting too low except for Anarissa over on the side of car crash sounds. She might go down, but it looks like Brightwing is around to keep her alive. Greymane falls as well as Murky in that engage, and this Triglaw Protector goes over to the side of CCS.
Blue team has taken control of a protector.
I don't know how to. I tried clicking on it. I'm sure there's a way, because I know other casters call it out, but I just never read any, or I don't remember any way to see it. This bottom keeps going to fall here. Another 8 seconds for Varian, 16 for the Greymane to come out on the side of Souls and Slowmo, and still a pretty healthy Triglav pushing onto this core at level 20. This is looking pretty good for the side of CCS to finish out this game right now. Core at 80% and going down, 60%. A light bomb coming out from Anduin to try and zone them off the core here. There's the mech explosion from D.Va. That's going to create even more space, and this core is going down. Game number 3 over to the side of CCS, who take the series 2-1. GG's and well played. Let's take a look at this match summary here. How do I see the health of structures in observer mode? That's what they're asking. Yeah. just check the health on structures. That's how you do it. Easy. All right, we're gonna reach out to CCS here, see if they would like to do an interview. But for now, let's just keep a peek. Did you rebind the select key? I don't know. What is it usually? What's the select key? My left click is like my target attack on my mouse. So yeah, that's rebound. And maybe it's just I never binded it to anything else, so maybe that's why. Let's take a look at these talents really quick, and I'm going to reach out to CCS, see if they want to do an interview. Pretty close game though, like really low deaths here, 6-9. Just unfortunate that Souls and Slowmo couldn't make that last team fight work out in their favor there, because they had so many turrets and biotic emitters to drop on the point, but Varian fell so quickly there. All right, we're gonna go ahead and interview Anarissa. Hello. Oh, and
Hello.
And Mesos Tables is in here as well from CCS. Congrats on the win. How are you guys feeling after that series? Oh, we have the entire team joining us. Wow. Okay. How are you guys feeling after that win today?
Breathless, I think is the adjective I'm gonna use.
Now, you guys are a new team for CCS here, Car Crash Sounds. This is your first season playing in NGS, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yes, it is.
So how much time have you guys been spending on like scrimming, trying to get some comps together, things worked out? I know too CCS usually has coaches that are in there helping. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we have had a fantastic team of coaches and just like constant support from the CCS community, and we could not be more grateful for that. Just kind of, it's a community entirely focused on on supporting people and education, and it's just been so kind of welcoming, and that's, I've felt that for a while, which is why I wanted to join them and captain a team for them. So
that's
I'm
awesome.
really glad that it's coming to life.
So how did you go about forming this team then? So Anna, so you're the captain, I believe. So did you pick these players, or was this kind of just like how did you guys end up as the CCS team, Car Crash Sounds?
So Summer, I was on the fence about whether or not I should really take the plunge into captaining, and I'd become friends with Summer through some CCS things, and she kind of like gave me the couple extra nudges to put me over the edge, and we just kind of started finding people one by one, trying them out with the whole team to make sure everybody was comfortable, and kind of build a community in which we could all trust one another and respect one another, and kind of build this kind of educational support system where everybody was comfortable giving and receiving feedback, and kind of really prioritizing that like sense of home and sense of purpose.
That's good. I really like kind of your team's vibe that you have going on here. Let's talk a little bit about your draft tonight. We saw Zeratul banned out every single game. Is this a target ban on someone in particular over on the side of Souls and Slowmo?
It was kind of a PTSD ban. We had an awful game last night against a very coordinated team that had it was a void prison into Gravo bomb into everybody died.
No.
and we saw that one of their players played Zeratul, and we were just like, we can't handle the tilt from that again. We don't want to mess with that. So
all right, fair enough. Curious there was going on. And let's just lastly talk a little bit about your guys' draft. I really liked your May Deckard pickup in game number 1. I think they pair so well together, and they're kind of sleeper OP. I'm surprised more people aren't running it, just because the blizzards and the slows and stunts from Deckard pair so well together. You had some amazing ice walls that were being landed in that game as well. So I just wanted to shout that out. As well as Stay a While and Listen. Some of your Stay a While Listens paired so well into the ice wall. So Deckard and May are just like, I don't know. They're the best. So I wanted to shout that out in particular. These comps that you're running tonight, are these comps that you kind of have ran these specific heroes together before, or are you guys kind of just like making these comps during your draft and trying to figure out what's going to pair well together?
The individual pairings, we've kind of tried to work out each of our, how each of our comfort picks synergizes or anti-synergizes with other ones, and kind of trying to like, we don't have a set 5 that we are committed to at the beginning of every draft. We try to keep it a little bit flexible, see the kind of team fights that our opponents are going to go into, and see what we can do to counter that and support our own team plan and stay alive also.
Yeah, okay. All right. I think that's like all the questions I kind of have for you guys today. But let's get into some shout outs before we wrap this up. And I mean, I don't mind if each of you have shout outs. That's fine with me. But
sorry, I run with the whole crew. Take these guys with me.
But yeah, take it away with those shout outs. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, first of all, happy International Women's Day. Shout out to the GGS community. And
Thanks.
Jazzy for casting, Born to Shine and Silverbell for being great members of the GGS community. The the entirety of Souls and Slowmo, those were really awesome games, and I'm really glad we got to play with you guys tonight. That was awesome all around. And shout out to the CCS community for being so incredibly supportive. And thanks for listening to me gush about them for a little bit.
Yeah, no.
And
CCS community is amazing. They always have events and stuff. You guys should go check them out. I think Valkomar's been around in chat, so if he's still here, maybe you guys, if you're interested in getting involved with CCS, you probably should hit him up. But I know you guys run all kinds of events that really help develop players' skills in the game, so it's great that there's a community like that just kind of keeping the game alive and doing something for not just the GMs and masters that already have this game figured out, but also us little guys,
the rest
too.
of us.
Yeah, the rest of us. Exactly. But no, I wish you guys the best of luck in the rest of NGS season. I'm excited to see where you go. I know your division in particular has a lot of faces I'm familiar with, so it's an exciting one for me to keep an eye on, and I do hope you guys perform well throughout the season. So good luck, and thanks for dropping by for the interview.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks so much for the cast.
All right.
Really
bye-bye.
appreciate it.
All right, and that's where we're going to end things off tonight. Let me just find somebody to raid here. I am casting again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific. We're going to be casting Ice Crown Citadel Queens, taking on the Tar Pit Tipplers. So if you want to see that, again, that's at 6 p.m. Pacific tomorrow. I'll be casting again on Thursday as well. Another NGS series. That one I believe is at 6:30. So still a couple more NGS casts this week before we get into Friday and Saturday. In the meantime, let's see who's live. Maybe there's some other NGS casters out there still going. I think even the NGS channel itself is going right now. So maybe let's take a look here. Yeah. All right. Let's just send you on over to Nexus Gaming Series. They are, we have Crushinator casting tonight over there. The Fool's Gambit taking on One Direction, which is the Storm Division games. So those ones are pretty competitive. And, kind of might give your team some ideas of comps you could run, things that pair well together, how the meta is kind of playing out now with these last patch coming through. All right. I will see you guys again tomorrow. Until then, go check out Nexus Gaming Series and stay safe out there. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of your evening.